Hello all. So we will start with the second part of this tutorial. So we have modeled this particular Pubg helmet over here, as you can see. So let's do the texturing part. So two ways you can texture it. You can directly, if you want to texture it, you can directly texture it. The second way for texturing it is like you can use the unwrapping part. So you can just go into this modifier, take a unwrap UVW, you can go into it. So either you can use a spherical mapping, so you do have a spherical because it is a kind of a sphere, so you can click on it. So this is also one kind of a option which you can utilize it over here. So very first of all, select all the faces. Okay, first of all, let's select the shape. Let's go into unwrap UVW, select the polygons, select all the polygons over here, select all the polygons. So make sure you are selecting all the polygons, nothing is left out. You can click over here, you can use this spherical, and you can use a quick planar map. So you can also use a open UV editor. So if you are using, this is also a method which you can utilize it. So now if you click over here, render, go into tools, relax, and if you relax it, you can easily open this particular shape in this form. So you can start relaxing it. You can easily relax it, as you can see over here. So we have all different shapes, like the polygons are opened up properly. So now you can just click over here, you can go into the material, and you can just check out as the texture is gonna fit on it. So you can add some kind of just check out. So your texture should properly fit onto the top of it. Select this part and just scale it over here. You have a scale option over here, you can easily scale it over here. You can go into tools, render UV template. We can easily render UV template. So over here you have an option called width and height. This is the size of a texture, so you can increase decrease the size of a texture. So this is a 1K texture, that is your 1024 pixels by 1024 pixels. So if you want to increase the texture, you can easily increase the texture by adding it. So let's add it, or you can keep it 1024 by 1024. Click over here. Oops, I'm sorry. So save this texture. You can just click on the save button, and let's make a folder. Name it as UVs, and you can save it in JPG. So after you have saved this texture, you can just open this texture in Adobe Photoshop. So we are going to open this texture over here, double click, unlock the image. Let's take a new layer over here in Photoshop. We'll put some color over here, and let's give it a screen mode, sorry, first apply the color and give a screen mode. So go into file, open. So let's open in file. So as we have taken 2 to 3 textures, 2 textures over here, you can easily open this texture. You can take this texture over here and assign this texture over here. Control T, you can resize this texture over here. So if you want to resize it, you can easily resize the texture. So now, as you can see over here, we have easily directly applied this texture. So let's open another texture. We have one more texture over here. Take one more texture, the second texture over here. So take this texture. Oops, I think so the texture is not fit over here. Okay, so open this in Photoshop. We'll take one texture over here. So let's combine this texture. So this could be a perfect one. So it's a kind of a rusted texture, kind of a rusty. So just save this. You can save this texture. So let's open this texture in Photoshop. Let's add it. So this texture is quite bigger, so you can reduce the size of the texture. You can easily crop this texture over here. First let me save this file. So take this texture over here onto this over here on the UV's part. So as you can see, if you off this texture and if you see, you have applied this over here. So take this texture, click over here, and you can resize it. Resize the texture over here. So other option is you can also take a brush. You can create a brush, and let's take a mask over here. Take a mask, click on this mask, and take a brush tool on the mask, and you can reduce the hardness of it, and easily you can rub it. So take a black color, and you can easily, if you want to hide it, so or else you want to keep it at some corner or the edge, you can easily do it. So that can be easily done in this manner. And you have an option over here, that is your blending option. So you can easily blend it. So you can easily blend this texture over here. So right click, duplicate layer, and you can easily make a duplicate. Control T, right click, and flip horizontal. So you can easily flip these two textures over here. As now you can reduce the opacity of the texture. You can easily reduce the opacity of the texture. So you can reduce the opacity of the texture over here. That's it. So as you're done now you can go into this file and you can close this, switch this off, file, save as. So now you can go into this, into the new folder, just name it as texture underscore 1, save it as this Photoshop file and click save. So after you're done with this part, so let's go into this main file. So click on this and call a texture. So as we have assigned the new texture over here, so assign this texture on top of it. Okay, so as you can see over here, so we have easily assigned texture onto the helmet. So now if you need to give a bit of roughness to the texture, so the texture roughness can be easily given over here. So you can go into this maps option, can go into the map, you can give a bump over here, take a noise, you can take a noise over here onto the bump, make it fractal and reduce the noise to 2. So after you give a noise, so as you can see over here, you can see a noise over here, so you can reduce the noise. So if you want to reduce it, you can easily reduce the noise accordingly. And that's it. So right click and isolate. So the same texture, if you want to unwrap it, so you can unwrap this part as we have done for the top one, so you can easily unwrap it. Or if you want to give the same kind of a texture, you can easily assign the same texture to this object. So select the shape and you can assign the same material or same texture. So you can just select it. Let's go into a different kind of a shape, bitmap, and you can assign the same texture to it. So UVW map and use a box option over here and increase the height as you want. Okay. So you can also increase the length and width if you want it. You can easily do that, or you can unwrap it. Right click, convert to editable poly, and let's give a glass. Let's give a glass over here. So click and make a glass. So you can press Alt Q, get into the isolation mode and give a glass to it. So you can give a clear glass and reduce the transparency to get it a look over here.